to today's live stream. If you are just joining this live stream for the first time, this is Bams, and I'm your host for today's live stream based in New Zealand, and I just love to help give my lived experience here in New Zealand. The caveat is I'm not a licensed immigration advisor, and also if you need to do anything around visa, you have to contact the Immigration New Zealand generally, and their platform is immigration.govt.nz. Virtually most of the information that you will need to thrive or come to New Zealand or migrate will be on that platform. And in fact, from that platform you can get licensed immigration advisors and others. So like I said, why some Africans thrive abroad while really really be nice for us to have this really mean for individuals that migrate overseas. And not only that, we should also be looking at it from the perspective where everybody wants to Japan, right? Which we know that it is cool. One minute, please. So what is happening? Thank you very much, Nancy, for the likes. I'm getting a poor connection here, and I want to see if there is something I can do to it. Why should I be having poor connection? So thank you very much for supporting the live. What could be happening? Yeah. So okay, so let's see how that goes. All right, so as I've said, why some Africans thrive and why others struggle in overseas. If you are just joining this live stream, normally what we do is we support the live stream and then continue to power tap. And if you need to watch the recap of this live stream, all you just need to do is to go to our YouTube channel, which is at BAMSNZ. So at BAMSNZ is our YouTube channel where you can watch the recap or the replay of this live stream. And pretty much it's more around sensitizing our people about not everybody will be able to thrive overseas. Some struggle while some thrive. And I want to ask this difficult question tonight, and this is about 7:05 p.m. in New Zealand time. And also, why do you think two people can leave the same country, they japa from the same country, move to the same city overseas, right? And then they have the same similar qualifications. Not only that, they have five or 6 years or the same experience, but give it some time, say about 5 or 6 years later, after they are in that new country, one is buying probably a house or progressing in their career or building wealth, right, while the other is still struggling. So why would this happen? And some people can accord it to luck, why some will say, oh, is it the country? And then some people will say, okay, is there something else that is hidden that people are not seeing? All these are some of the things that people will always want to look at from the perspective of, okay, why will it happen? What are the common reasons why people with the same qualification, with the same experience, with the same years of experience, with the same everything, and then migrate at the same time, and they move to the same country and even in the same city? One is successful and the other one is not. So why? And that is kind of a difficult question, and this is what we want to really look into today, and then just have a discussion. If you have anything to add or something, you can also put it in comment section, or also send an invite, and at the right time you'll be accepted to come on the box and sit and then have your say about that. It's all opinion based, and there is nothing general about this, right? Just that the first thing is, in life you need to stop comparing people. So comparison is really a killer of joy, and that is because life will always happen to people, and you should stop comparing. The first thing we need to understand is that, thank you very much, Cruz. So the first thing we need to understand is that we rarely know someone else's full story. You don't know the other person's story, and you cannot really fathom the depth of their story, and you should not use their story to base or judge yourself. Because I know that most of whatever we see online, maybe probably the fine scenic environment in New Zealand or some other overseas country, might be the propeller of some people's journey for migration. However, you might see someone's successes today, but you did not see some of the things they have gone through at the back end. You do not see the years they have spent preparing. You do not see the jobs they took to gain experience. For some people, they actually took a no paid job, for them to gain experience. And I happen to be like one of the top person in that space. Not that I took a job that was not paying. I took a job that was paying very, very little compared to my qualification at the time, just because I love to be in the tech space. And then it was like divided by 3 or 4 of my initial, standard salary at the time. But then it is that time of building for me. You didn't see some people, you do not see the sacrifices they made or they have gone through. Some people, you do not see the mistakes they have learned from. So success often, looks at success often looks sudden to some people. You just think, okay, you just click. When you see somebody that just jackpot today or migrate today, and then you see how I migrate to this particular place, always sit down and look at the story behind their success. And that is what people say success story. There are always stories behind every successful things you see out there. And most time we have talked about it here, that a lot of people would not talk about their pain. A lot, like largely, people don't talk about their pain, but they talk about their gain. So they only show you the gain and then the success, and maybe probably motivate you, prepare you, but the right person will always think about, for every gain that people put out there, there are some pain behind the scene that is not being seen. I'll come again. For every gain that people push out there, there are some pain behind the scene that is not being seen. That looks like a rhyme, right? But then it is what it is. It is what it is. So, but it is usually built slowly. Success is usually built slowly, and you will see people, they start growing, from one level to the other, and that is how life is. So when we are looking at, some people try, and some people do not, and I'll be looking at it from the perspective of one habit that makes people thrive whenever they travel out of the country. Number one of it is that they keep learning. If you stop learning, you start dying. That is what so these are wise kind of statement. Wisdom says, if you stop learning, the more you live, the more you learn. That's what people say. But so some people, the more they live, the more they stop learning, and they go back into retrospect. And that is what is a big problem or difference between two people that migrate with the same level. You must admire to learn, you must have that habit of learning, as in drastic kind of learning, intentional kind of learning, because a lot of people learn and mislearn. And that's the truth. You can mislearn. You can be learning something that is not relevant anymore in this current world. Wherever you migrate to, you must learn what is relevant to the economy or system of that country, so that by the time it is right, or by the right time, you will be relevant. And that is what it is. Imagine they talk about, okay, AI is now the main thing now, and you are learning and you still keep learning backlogs and not focusing on something that is new in this current world. And that is where some people miss it. So one of the few things that people should be able to know is that they have to keep learning. People who travel abroad, people that succeed abroad, usually they don't stop learning after they arrive. So you must be at that level. You must have that mindset that, okay, yeah, whether I've not migrated now, my plan is to migrate. You must have learning capacity, growth capacity in your mindset, in your subconscious mind, so that, and these are the set of people that learn, that thrive overseas. They are the set of people that ask the question, what skills should I learn next? Meaning that they have learned something first. So what skill? This is my new chapter. This is the chapter that I find myself. You can even pivot or migrate or pivot into another space. No best time for you to pivot into a new area of life. But then if you are pivoting, you should be able to understand why you are pivoting, if you love that space that you are pivoting into. And these are the set of people that thrive. They are the one that has this kind of question, that how can I improve? So improvement, growth, prowess, growth capacity is always their main thing. And you cannot just be on the same level. You must find a way to better yourself on a daily basis. That is if you want to thrive and not struggle. And these are the people that do this. They've done their research about the country they are now, and know what is in vogue, what is needed by they've studied the market analysis. They've done their due diligence about, okay, yeah, the demand in this country, they demand this, and then I will get this and this, so that I'll be relevant by this social period by this time. So all these are some of the questions they have. These people, they are the one that will be able to ask questions like, what does my industry need now? Imagine they are in a company already, they are working in a company, they will ask the question, what do they need in this country, in this company? This company, I've been working for a few years, okay, what is the next level, next certificate that I need to get? And that is because the world changes. The world keep evolving. In fact, people have said that change is the only constant currency. Change is constant. Definitely things will change, but how are you adapting to this change? How are you learning to move into this level of change? Right? The people will grow definitely in life with this trend. They will create more opportunities for themselves later. And that is why you need to know that not everyone that migrates, or that japa as it is the word, right, thrive overseas. Some struggle. For you to know the difference between those that will struggle or those that will thrive, one of the key things is their learning capacity, learning prowess, learning hunger. Meaning that people that hungers to learn, for learning, they keep wanting to learn. So, and if they keep wanting to learn, definitely this kind of people, they will thrive. Just give them time. It might be struggling for them in the short run, but in the long run, they are specifically and going to thrive in the long run. And this is what we keep saying. And what is the second habit for you to know people that are that are going to be thriving or that will be struggling overseas? One of the second habits that they will have is that people that thrive overseas, they adapt. And I can't overemphasize the fact that when you migrate to a new country, you are leaving a lot of unfamiliar things behind. So you are getting into an unfamiliar situation. You are leaving a lot of familiar things behind. So your usual custom, everything about you change. It is a new system entirely. You start, adapting, start getting the system. The faster you are able to key into the new system, the faster you are able to thrive, and that is given, because adaptability is one of the most underrated skills that people don't talk about. Some people cannot just adapt. They just find themselves, in difficult situation. They cannot just adapt. So you will have to adapt for you to thrive in the new, location and environment that you find yourself. So moving to a new country often means that you have different workspace, expectation. Not only that, it also means that you have different communication styles. In fact, when I got into New Zealand, I was having difficulty understanding what they were saying. And same, they were also having difficulty understanding what I was saying. Yeah, I kind of understand, right? But then most time back then, I've only just been like, okay, what are they really saying? I have to tell someone or people that I speak to, can you speak slowly? And when I talking to you, they have to, okay, yeah, can you come again? Yeah, we know, okay, yeah, that is the problem. But then adaptability over time, you start learning, okay, understanding, your hair start tuning to whatever they says, and then so different communication styles will come in, different ways of giving feedbacks will come in. Everything is going to be different, right? And then being adaptable doesn't mean losing your identity. It just means that, okay, yeah, you are coming into a new system and then you are trying to fit in to that system. So it means learning how to succeed in a different environment while staying true to your values. And not only are you staying true to your values, you are kind of adapting, getting used to the system, and also getting yourself out there. Because if you are not adaptable, if you are not adapting to the system, you will be crushed. If you are not adapting to the system, you will be stressed. If you are not adapting into the system, everything will just be frustrating to you. And that is where adaptability comes in. Like I said, the first habit is that people that thrive overseas, they are learners. Every opportunity they have, they want to learn. Every situation they have, they want to learn. And these kind of people, they are not just learners, they are adapters or adapters. They adapt to situations, they adapt to the new country that they find themselves. It might be New Zealand, Australia, Canada, UK, US, anywhere in the world that you find yourself. You just have to adapt if you want to thrive and not just struggle in that particular country. And number three, of people that succeed or that thrive overseas are people that are relationship builders. They build relationship, right? In a real sense, they build. Nobody is an island of knowledge. Nobody can survive in isolation. You will need people around you, right? You will need people to make this work. And that is what we are talking about. Many opportunities don't come, from sending hundreds of applications. In fact, in New Zealand, we had that discussion here that at times it is person that knows person. Not only this, and it's not that about knowing people, right? You are very sound. We have people that are very sound, they are efficient in what they do, but they need somebody to refer. So New Zealand also thrive on referrals, and that is what some people do not know. New Zealand thrive on referrals. Somebody is in the company, working in the company, the person can actually send, just refer you. Yeah, the person can just refer you and say, okay, I have somebody, and very good thing is that there is a referral bonus. If you refer someone and then the person is successfully employed in that company, at times the company usually have some referral bonus that they give the person that refer people. You get some, cuts or some funds for referring, good, solid, employees to the company. So imagine somebody is very excellent with his work, and then the person keep applying and applying and applying. And a lot of time they even tell workers, oh, we are looking for this position. Do you have anyone? They have said that to me a couple of times. Do you have anyone in your network that can do this kind of role? We are looking for this role before we even maybe post it out or something. And if they need to post it out, they will still ask, and then you submit maybe, okay, this person, this is the CV, and everything goes on from there. And these people that thrive are people that build relationship. If you do not build relationship, how can people refer you when it comes to opportunities? So, and that relationship is intentional relationship, not just relationship. It is meaningful relationship. Relationship can either break or make you, and that is the thing. So you have to be very careful about it, and then you have to be careful about it, and that is what we are looking at, right? So be careful about it. All right. So that is what we have there. So pretty much, and what we have, in that perspective, and is that you just have to build relationship, because relationship, is very key. And this set of people, they also come, when we look at relationship, the people that build relationship, they come through, professional, maybe probably networks. You might be in your professional networks, and then you are looking at, okay, how to move on to the next level of your career. So the people that you have in your professional network can refer you. I've had a situation where someone in my previous company was the one that referred me to another company, and they reach out to me. So the relationship we are talking about could be mentors, mentee, mentors kind of relationship. It could be your colleagues. It could be maybe probably industry events that you have attended, and you must learn how to go for event, and not just go for event, meet people, be able to communicate with people. And then again, community groups, you cannot put that aside. Some people it is church, right? Some people it is maybe mosques or any gathering that you have. You just have to find a way to speak with your community. In fact, some people it is the association. Say for example, in New Zealand, Nigerian association in New Zealand, we call them Niger Kiwis. It can be the community. You must be able to speak with people. People must be able to know, okay, this person have this kind of value, and that value is what you'll be able to now push out whenever you are looking for a job or doing anything. So people remember those values that you have shared, and they will be able to refer you whenever anything comes on, maybe later in the day. And that is what building relationship is. People like that, they have relationship. You cannot just stay in isolation. You cannot thrive in isolation. You have to thrive with people. People must be able to speak about you. Some people must be able to maybe probably talk good things about you. So, and that is what it is. When you contribute into the life of others, they can speak for you when it matters. And that will be building trust, right? You build that trust, and then they can speak at any point in time to say, okay, this person is trustworthy. This person, they trust that they can deliver, because they have done that while we're having that relationship. And people that thrive overseas, number 4 is that they usually manage their money. Finance is a very big, big statement when it comes to migration, and no one can overemphasize. In fact, I cannot overemphasize the place of finance. You cannot travel overseas and be reckless with finance. I have said it several times here. We have people here overseas that have what is called emergency fund. Yes, we might have it back at home, but the way it is being structured in overseas is quite a bit different. It's not something you just want to wake up and then quickly have that money. It is like they do it in bits and pieces. Start saving some percentage of your salary or your wages or something for emergency funds, right? And one of the biggest differences between surviving and thriving is financial discipline. You must be disciplined. You must be disciplined when it comes to finances. So some people increase their income, and not just increasing their income, but they also increase their spending even faster than the level of their income. And this is what we look at it. So they were earning 10,000 before, 10,000 maybe probably naira, and then their expenses was 5,000 naira, which is about 50% of their income. Now they now start earning 100,000 naira, and they are now spending 96,000 naira. Even 95,000 naira is not proportionate to their, because their income increase but their expenses increase further or faster, and in economics is really not a good one, right? So, and that is what we are looking at. And pretty much, right, others, you just have to, some people they build emergency fund. Like I said, emergency fund, they pay off debt, where possible. You don't want to be in debt, you want to quickly find a way to run away from debt. I know some people, everything they want to get is on debt. It's on debt. It's on debt. Yes, debt thrive in overseas, right? But you have to be very careful. And any debt, some debt are without interest rate, while some with interest rate. So if you place your life on debt, there will be a lot of backlog of debt, flowing here and there. So you have to be able to have that investment mindset. And that is where financial discipline is. Somebody that I know just drop maybe $60 or $50 every week. $50, $60 every week. By the time you look at $50, $60 every week in a year, it becomes big amount of money. In fact, if you put it in a compounding interest kind of fund, $50, $60, $50, $50, if you keep doing it like that and that fund is increasing, there will be an increase at the end of the year, and you will be amazed at amount you will have saved, all because of your little, because a little drop of water, people say, makes the mighty ocean. So we have to be able to look at that. So one of the habits that people that thrive overseas have over people that struggle is that people that thrive overseas, they manage their finances. They are financially dependent and disciplined. They are very disciplined when it comes to finance. At times, they just look at how to develop investment mindset, have a portfolio, several portfolio, put money in this, put money here and there, just for them to to be able to have investment portfolios, different spaces of investment, and they make long-term decisions. So because higher income in life does not automatically create financial security. Some people can have higher income and spend higher, in fact higher than when they were earning lower income, because their spending preference will have changed. Their spending preference will have moved to another level, and that is life, that is human being, right? The more we earn, the more we are likely to spend. It is an hypothesis that has been tested and proven that that is how human beings are wired, which is fine. Maybe formerly you were going to barb your hair at maybe one local place, but by the time you start earning more, that will not be the portion. You want to go to a very sophisticated barbing salon to go back because your level has left that level, which is fine. But then you also need to know that when you are moving, when your finances is moving up, be wary of that trap of moving too higher with your expenses. You must also control it, and that is the difference between people that thrive and people that struggle overseas, right? Which is financial indiscipline. A lot of people do not have that. So good financial habits will help you to do all this, and you must have that habit financially when you migrate and you want to thrive. Because some people don't even bother, in as much as they have traveled, everything is fine. But we are looking at those that want to thrive overseas. You must be financially, disciplined. You must be an investor. You must be an investor, right? And not only that, I think number 5 that we need to mention is the fact that people that thrive overseas, they are not short-term thinkers. So they are long-term thinkers. They think long-term. They actually look at the long run in anything they do, not a short run. So because successful migrant really in its real sense often make decisions, based on not the short time that they have. They know that okay, short run might be a bit tough for them, and they understand that they might put a timeline to it, maybe 5 years, 10 years, not next month. They are not like, okay, I think of next month, what will happen next month, I'll do this next month. They are long-term thinkers. They structure things. Sometimes, that might mean for them that, okay, they are accepting a role, that builds experience. Like we said from the beginning, they might accept a role that is not paying them, up to their standard. In fact, some people accept a role that is not paying them at all. We call this kind of role voluntary roles. So it's either you are in overseas and jobless and keep counting the months that you are jobless, or you take up a voluntary role and be going for that voluntary role without pay. However, that voluntary role you are doing without pay, you are gaining it back by saying you are experienced. Because by the time they start looking for how many years of experience you have, maybe probably say for example, you have 1 year of no job, you are not doing anything, but what you were doing was a voluntary role with a company. You do not say you don't have experience. You have experience of 1 year, just that you do not collect salary, right? Which is fine. So some people, they start from there. They just take up a job in the short run, but their long-term goal was that, okay, I will be better off in the long run. And that is what differentiate people that try. Because for somebody that wants to struggle, at times person might be looking for a job and then still continue to look for a job and not take up something that will keep him or her busy in the short run, which is, even if it's not a paying job, in the short run you can go for it. New Zealand, accept that kind of package where you go and do a freelancing role, or let me say a voluntary role. You just go for it. When they ask for reference, that company will reference you that you are being with them, and which is a good one. So you are not starting from zero anymore, but then you are starting from an experienced person, but you didn't collect salary. So that is what it is. They think of long run. So if it is someone that wants to struggle, the person will feel like, I cannot do any role that they will not pay me. And a lot of people are stuck at that level. And if they are not doing any role that pays them, they are there. But you can take up roles that are voluntary. Even if you are in Nigeria or anything, and then you are in the healthcare space, you have gone to learn or you have gone to do certificate of healthcare and you have done that certificate successfully well. Now the next question is, are you experienced in that space? If you are not experienced and then you don't know what to do, just go for voluntary role. Just go and meet people, companies that you can go to go and work for free. It is fine. At times they may feel like they are using you. Thank you very much. They may feel like they are using you, but then don't worry, it is also good for them to use you, but you also know the long run. And that is why people that travel overseas, they think long run, not the short run. The short run is that you must collect salary, right? But we all know that job is not forthcoming. So what do? Do you then sit down at home and then feel like, okay, job is not forthcoming? I like I said, job wasn't forthcoming. I just took a job, very little to my standard, but it is fine because it was in the tech space where I wanted to be. They were not paying at all, but they might feel like, okay, they were using, but I don't see it as they were using me. I feel like I was even using them, right? So they feel like I'm being exploited. It is fine. It's not just your time. When your time comes. So I was a senior data analyst back then with this company. Senior data analyst, earning very cheaply, like very, but then it was paying the bills, and then I was getting more exposure that I need. The experience was there. I could not quantify the amount of exposure that I got in the company. However, if I place premium to the amount of salary I was collecting, I will lose in the long run. So in the short run, it wasn't paying me. In the short run, it wasn't better. But give it time. About 2 years down the line in that company, the next job that I got wasn't a senior data analyst role. It was just a data analyst role. And I was telling the HR, see, wait, oh, you want to bring me back? I am a senior data analyst. How can you take me back to just data analyst? And then the HR said that is what the job they posted. But you know the funniest thing? This new company that is employing me is paying me times 5. Almost times 5, yeah, almost times 5, yes, times 4 of what I was earning from the company that was thinking that was using us. They were paying me like times 4, and they call it data analyst. But I was coming from a senior data analyst. I still look at it and say, okay, in the short run, no problem. At least the money is now increased. It's fine. Let's go for this increase first. Let's start with data analyst. I will just not edit my LinkedIn. I don't want anything to change my LinkedIn from a senior data analyst coming back to data analyst. Never. I didn't go to change LinkedIn profile or something. But lo and behold, in 3 months in the new company, you were able to push it back to senior role, which is fine. So you will think long term. If you really want to try, think long term. So the current situation might be stressful, might be painful, but just think long term. So if you take that perspective, you'll be able to know that at times you might be accepting that role, that build your experience, that might not give you money, right? You might be studying while working. For some people, you don't have to remain the same. You don't have to remain where you are. If your mind is telling you, take this particular course, take this level, go and take it. Because time is of essence, right? You have to say no to maybe unnecessary expenses, right? At times, and again, sometimes it can be maybe being patient with your career progression. Don't beat yourself too hard that it's like I'm not moving. Like no. Career progression is in bits and pieces, right? It comes along the line. So that is what it is. Short term, sacrifice can actually replace your long term, goal, your long term, positive that can happen, the long term, goals, right? So, and that is what it is. People that try overseas, they think the long term, not short run. They sacrifice in the short run just to get what they are looking for in the long run. And this is really something that is mind-blowing, right? It is mind-blowing that you have to sacrifice in the short run. It is fine to take that role, even if it is not paying you high, but at least there is ability and opportunity to learn more from that role. Take it take it and take it like with full joy. You might be suffering now. In fact, back in the day, it was as if I started with let me say, startup can use you, but it is fine. You need them to use you for you to get more experience. Yeah, I know people might debate that, but it's fine. If you are really looking for, imagine they are not using you and then you are not really getting jobs done. I share my story that where I work, one of the company that I work with, the amount of job that they keep rolling out to one person, just one me. It was like it should be about 4 or 5, data specialist person that should be doing it. But it was coming, and I was doing with all sense of joy. It was from this company I migrated overseas, right? I was doing with all sense of joy because the kind of development I was getting, I really love it. I know that the tech space is dynamic and it's moving very fast, and I needed to move very fast. And that company was giving me that space and that pace to move very fast with the kind of iteration. Do this, okay, no, can we change it to this? And before I will say I want to change it, I will have to go and study. I will have to go and watch a lot of YouTubes. How did they solve it? And then I will solve it. And after solving the issue, solving the problem, I feel achieved solving that problem. And when interview of New Zealand will come around, I didn't have to do much. It was just practical. One of all those things that I've done back in the day that a normal person, is it normal or abnormal person, will have said, no, it's only me. They want to finish me. They want to do this and that. Just keep taking it. It is just for a time. And that is what I believe then, that kind of development I was having my 1 year anniversary with the company, and it feel like I've used like 10 years or 5 years in the company. And that is because of the kind of reports, the kind of things that I've done. I've done a lot of amazing things there, and that are still there in that company today, till date. They still call me from the company to say, okay, wait, this thing you bid in 2020, this is okay. I know where this is where the issue is coming from. It's refreshing. Yes, okay, can we add this thing? That is how it is. It was belted. It was belted with pain and stress and sleepless nights. Sleepless nights here and there. That was what belted all those kind of things. And so when people say no pain, no gain, you have to go through some painful situation. Gold, we have to go through fire before you can see the fine, frame of a gold, right? Before you can see that the gold is very, pretty to the eye, it must have gone through fire. So that is what it is. So people that thrive overseas, they have long term, they are long term thinkers, not short term. Not what will I gain now. Not the people of now. They are people of long term, right? They are people of long term, not the now people. And this is what it is, right? This is what it is. And basically, we must know that. We must know that, and then know peace. We have to know that and know peace. And I will quickly say this, right? I will say this, and this is very good for everyone that is listening, right? And there are two minders. Let's say there are two mindsets. And one, imagine two people, like I said from the beginning, maybe arrive at a country X, or say New Zealand. Two people arrive at New Zealand, and not just that, one of them says something, and they say that this isn't how we did it back home. We didn't do this thing like this back home. But the second one says, okay, teach me how it is done in a company. And when you have this type of two people, who do you think want to learn? This is now we do it. The person want to continue with how they do it, back home. Yeah. So the person want to continue how they did it back home. But another one is saying, oh no, I can, you need to teach me how it's being done in a new and modern way. And these are some of the things that people don't really, talk about. So somebody will want to learn, and then the other one do not want to learn. And this is a big of a problem. So the other one want to continue doing the same way they are doing it, why one want to really learn. So, and the one that will build strong relationship will be the one that want to learn, because people love someone that want to learn. In fact, company will love people that are willing to learn, because change is constant, and that is what we see. So, and who among these two, or between these two, would you want to will try to earn your trust? It is definitely going to be the one that want to learn, because life is all about learning. You kind of move into a new situation, you have to learn new things. So, and again, curiosity must always be there. So curiosity will always open doors if you have that, if you have that mindset. In fact, the doors that pride cannot open, curiosity will open it. If you are curious, pride, I don't know how to do it, please can you teach me? Then you have added something to whatever you have previously. And this is what it is. Again, we are discussing a very germane topic here, why some Africans thrive abroad and others struggle. Pride is one of all those key things, and that pride is stemming from the fact that they just feel we have to be regimented the same way we've been doing it before. Is how we want to do it, forgetting that they are in another country, another system, another environment. So, and I would like to, I'd like everyone here to say something around this, to look at things around this perspective, to answer this honestly. Which of these do you think? Which of these do you think that is the biggest challenge for migrants that comes, overseas? One, is it finding work? Is it managing? Is it finding job? Is it managing money? Is it adapting to a new culture? Is it building maybe probably intentional relationship or professional networks? So which of them? And this is now to everybody. We have talked about all these things. So which do you think that would be a major one for a major challenge, biggest challenge for migrants? Is it finding work? Is it managing money? Is it adapting to a new culture or building professional networks? You can put it in the comment section. So, which one do you think is a major challenge for migrants? Could it be that it is finding job that is a major challenge for them, or managing money, or maybe adapting to new culture, or maybe building professional, networks? Which one? Which one? Which one? So by the time you understand the one that is the issue or challenge, and that is when you can now start looking at how you can better yourself in that regard, right? And not only that, I've seen situation, and I want to say this, say this, that sometimes, right, people engage through maybe no fault of their own. It is not, people struggle, and it is not their fault. People that struggle, is not their own fault, right? Maybe economic conditions change wherever they find themselves, or maybe probably industry shut down or slowed down. I've seen people in New Zealand too that were insolvent. Is it, no, not insolvent now, that were, we call them what now? They say they are redundant. They are made redundant. So seen people that were made redundant. So in a case of redundancy, it might not be it might not be your own fault. It might not be that fault might not come from you, right? It's as a result of maybe company not getting leads from wherever they have sales, or maybe some companies that are into sales, and company just feel like, okay, they are not continuing with them anymore, which might affect the employees they have. Yeah, because that happened. So unexpected life events at times happens, overseas. We would never, assume here that someone, is, and someone's journey is easy. Don't even assume that someone's journey is easy, or you judge them often without, knowing their circumstances, because circumstances might be different, and that is very, very true, right? But what can you do in that situation? And what you can do in situation is to focus on the things that you can control, because there are a lot of things that you cannot control when you migrate to. So imagine a company, shutting down. You cannot control it. It's beyond you. Now, what are the things you can control? And those things that you can control are some of the things that we have mentioned here. Build relationship. While the company is falling down, or you are being made redundant in that company, to say, okay, we do not need your services again. Along the line, when you were in the company, you should have been able to meet one or two, create some social network with them, and then they know that, okay, this person is very sound with his work. They might even have opportunity to refer you. I've gotten some of all those referrals. People will refer you to say, okay, this person can handle the work. You will not tell them, oh, you are free. You are not. You are busy. You are not at that particular time. So, and this is a good way to say that life happens. Life do happen. And all these things that we have mentioned on this platform is what might really help you. And one of the habits is that you should keep learning. You must keep learning wherever you find yourself. You need to adapt to the situation of things that you find yourself. You must be able to build relationships with people, and this is intentional relationship, not just relationship of one time. It's just not the relationship that is parasitic. You want to use people. You have them just because you want to use them and then take them out. No. You have to be intentional about the relationship you build. Being intentional will mean that you are going all out when everything is going fine, so that they will come around to you when things are bad, right? Or when things are not going the way you plan. And then another thing is you have to be financially disciplined. finances is a key thing. You must be able to manage. For some people have percentages to spending. There's a 730 rule that you can use, but it's fine. I have that. I have a video of that one. You can watch it on YouTube of expenses and how you can navigate your expenses anywhere or anytime. Percentage you have to place on on feeding. Percentage you have to place on you just go and watch that on YouTube. You need to manage finances very well if you need to thrive overseas. And not only that, and you need to think long term. At times life might happen, at times you might not get what you are looking for, at times job might not forthcoming, but experience must keep going. You cannot say you are job searching for about 1 year and then you are not putting experience into in consideration, even if that experience is not being paid for, even what the work you are doing is not being paid for. Just keep doing it, right? And everything will be able to come out fine. And I will close with this so that we can allow people to come up. But then I want us to continue to support the live stream. Thank you very much for those supporting the live stream. Kindly support the live stream. So whether you stay in Africa really or anywhere in the world and you are willing to relocate to another country, the habits that build success are remarkably similar everywhere in the world that you find yourself. That habits are similar. It is the same thing, and one of it is you have to keep learning. Not only that, you have to stay adaptable to the system. You have to stay adaptable to the system where you are, the country that you are. You have to build relationships where you find yourself. You have to manage your finances wisely wherever you find yourself, and then you have to think beyond now. Think beyond today. Think beyond the current situations of things. Think beyond the current state where you are. You have to move things to 5 years, 4 years down the line. In 10 years time, so all those are some of the things. So relocation can create opportunities. That is very true. Everybody knows that. But then it is not, say, a final yardstick that people are going to be successful. It is not. People that are successful, that thrive overseas are some of the people that do all these things. They are very intentional about learning. I still have people that are going to school now, even after they have gotten to a big level, they still have to go to school. The school might not be PhD or something, but it's ESTA school. I will still have to learn. I'm still learning as well. I'm still learning. This tech space is, dynamic. We still have to learn. Most of the time, a lot of people must have gone to bed or sleep. I'm learning. That is how it is. So you still have to learn, right? So you have to think beyond today. You have to, there will be opportunity, but your daily choices in life determines what you do, with this opportunity that you have. So don't just aim to arrive in overseas. That's what we are saying, because Japa is not a strategy. Under it, we are saying that some people try. Don't just say, okay, let me just get there. Aim to grow. Don't just aim to arrive. Aim to grow. What is the growth hacking process? Whatever I'm going to, how can I move to the next level in the country? What is what I will do? You should have that plan, and it should be clear. It should be clear what you want to do when you get in anywhere you go to, right? So if you could only improve one thing, and this is to everybody on the live stream, right? If you could only improve one thing before relocating, what would it be? And I want us to be genuine about that. If you could improve something now, what is that one thing that you should improve? So what is that one thing that you think that you should improve? Some people it might be communication. Some people it might be confidence. Some people it might be savings, maybe your saving habit. Some people it might be maybe technical skills. For some it is networking. For some it is discipline. So just put in that comment section. It might be more than one, but let us even stick to one. What is that one thing that you think you should improve before you relocate? What is that one thing that you think you should improve? Let me see what people are putting in the comments. So let's see, guys. Come on, guys. If you want to improve, if you can improve something today, would it be your communication skills, your confidence, your savings habits, your technical skills, your networking skills, or maybe your discipline? So what is it that you should improve? I don't know if people are listening to me. Can you hear me? So what is that one thing that you should improve? Put in the comment section. So what is that one thing that you can improve on before migration, before relocating, right? If you can improve something, some people it might be communication, some it is savings, some it is confidence, some it is discipline, some networking, some technical skills. So all right, just have that at the back of your mind. You can have that at the back of your mind. Just take it for yourself, right? And which of these do you think people underestimate most? Which of these statements, which of these do you underestimate most? Is it communication, confidence, your savings habits, your technical skills, maybe probably networking or discipline? Which one do people underestimate the most? I will say what I think people underestimate most is networking. I think that's my own share. People underestimate networking. You should be able to improve your network. You should be able to meet people, roll with the boys and etc like that. You should be able to do that. So, and that is it, guys. Let's support the live. Thank you very much. So, and that is, I will leave you with that today, to say that some people, some Africans thrive abroad while others struggle, and we have been able to touch on why those that thrive, why did they thrive, and one of the key things why they thrive that we mentioned was that they keep learning. Number 2 is that they stay adaptable. Number 3 is that they build relationships. And number 4, we say they manage their finances wisely. And number 5, they think beyond today. They think of the future. Thank you very much for today's live stream. Now I'll be expecting us to take the live stream to 10K before we'll bring people up. And thank you again, Faith, Madam Faith, for the gift. Send at me if you have not. Thank you very much. Send your heart to me if you have not. Thank you, Madam Faith. Thank you very much, everyone.